What's up, everyone? We are here back for another one. It's your boy, co host of the A.I.I podcast, Ryan Villa. I am here with my good friend of this side, Abdul. Abdul, how you doing today, bud? You're still muted. It's okay. It wouldn't be a podcast without a. There we go. Without a little Farsi, we're gonna keep rolling. You're still muted, but we got you solid now. How you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great now that you all can hear me and I'm on board and back in the call. And you gotta know that gremlins in the beginning are good because you're gonna have gremlins, but best to get them out in the beginning. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little frustrated with some of the technical difficulties we had getting this going, but now that we're here, we're going live. We're gonna roll on through. So I'm gonna go ahead over here and do something, but that's off screen. That's producer stuff. What's new, man? How was your weekend? Has it been?
Man, weekend was good. Rolled through. The weather's been getting nice and cold, nice and chilly. Trying to plan out some more camping for next weekend. I have a New Year's tradition that I've been doing for the past, I think, 2, 3 years now, where I try to spend New Year's Eve out camping, so that I'm not in the city. Something that happens here in Pakistan, at least on New Year's. This will be an interesting. I'd love to hear your take on this. So something that people do here on New Year's Eve is that the aerial firing. They go up onto the roofs of their houses and they fire their guns into the air, and that's something that's really stupid. Okay, don't do that because the bullets come back down, dude, and they hurt people, they kill people. So it's really freaky. I have all these memories from being a kid on New Year's where you'd be out with friends, you'd be out in the garden or whatever, chilling, enjoying the good weather, but just about at a 11:30, everyone has to come indoors, all the way up to a 12:30. So I started going out to the beach, started camping, man, and you'd be under the stars New Year's Eve. That's a gorgeous thing to do. Do you have any New Year traditions, Ryan?
So you basically, you every year you go camping now on New Year's,
Yeah, that's
like
what I
every
that's what
year.
I try to do. Just
But you
I've been
camp a
doing it
lot.
for.
You camp a lot. From a lot of our talks, I mean, I've seen you camping a lot and at pretty cool locations.
Yeah, I try to. The camping season where I am in Pakistan is pretty short. It's over winter because it's too hot for most of the year for places that are within driving distance. Yeah, but when the season is open, to be honest, I'd like to be out there every weekend, if not at least every other weekend. And if you're not going once a month, then it's a waste of the year because it's. I don't know if you have you ever been out like proper out where there's no more city lights and you can just look up and see the Milky Way. Have you been out there?
Yeah, a few times. Just because of where I live on the East Coast, I mean, I'd have to go really, really far to probably get the same true experience that you're getting. But I mean, we've definitely camped in some like the George Washington National Forest. There's not a lot of light pollution out there. Um, Yeah, I mean, I haven't been camping in a while. We kind of only do it when the weather's nice and when you have the right
Hmm.
people to go do it with. But that's cool. You guys
Yeah.
kind of make a tradition out of it. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's something that I find it's really therapeutic. I enjoy doing it, and yeah, and if you haven't already gathered, I enjoy camping. I
Yeah,
enjoy
and
it.
I did see just on one of your videos there the stove thing. You guys basically built out like a little oven in the side of the hill.
Oh,
I mean, that's
so
some
so
survival skill shit right there.
so for new viewers, you're going to definitely want to smash that subscribe button and check out our other content because we've got a piece of content called "What's It Like," and I just shot one to show Ryan what it's like camping in Pakistan. Now, look, I'm an advanced camper. I've been doing this for years, and I've spent years fighting building fires on the beach. Like that would be one of the things we do. We try to build a couple of different fires, and it would. We'd see who could build their fire better and faster with using the least amount of petrol and just using kindling, doing it the old fashioned way. And I got into building vertical fires, right?
Yeah.
Fires which are not teepees, not
Oh, okay.
teepees, something that's a straight vertical column and it burns from the top down, not from the bottom up. It's a really funky kind of fire, man. The best way to describe it is something called a Swedish candle. You can look that up and Google it.
Google that.
This
Swedish
yeah this
candle.
the Swedish candle, dude.
Swedish
It's like
candle.
these soldiers up in the 15th and 16th century in Europe, during wartime, they didn't have a lot of wood to burn for fire, for warmth, and for food. So they came up with this different kind of fire where they take a log and they'd just make a little cross right in the top of it so that there'd be a little opening, and they'd start a fire right in the middle of it, right where a candle's fire would
So it
be.
like burns from the
So the
inside out.
logs start yeah, the logs start burning outside. It sucks in the air from inside, from the sides. It's a very convenient place to put a pot on top of, and you can keep reusing the log. You can just put it out when you're done cooking it and have the same log, and it runs for a long period of time.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, we'll dig like a little fire pit, but you guys literally built like an oven in the side of the hill.
So that was the other fire. Have you heard of the Dakota fire pit?
No.
So that's an American fire so these are the two fires that I put together for that stove. A Dakota fire pit is basically you dig a fire pit, okay? But you don't dig just one, you dig two of them. You dig two of them right next to one another, and you dig a little tunnel underground from one to the other. One is your fire pit, the other one is your air, where the air is going in. So, and then your entire, I think the one thing that's really special about this one is that the whole fire is contained underground. So other people can't see your fire from far away, right? And
Oh.
it gets a lot of airflow that way. It models a kind of stove called a rocket stove. So there's complete combustion, there's not a lot of smoke. So I think I want to say American Indians came up with this, but I'm not sure. I'm going to Google that real quick and check it out. But you've never heard of that, huh? Dakota fire pit.
I've seen some stuff like that where they do like the modified. The closest thing that I'd probably experience is we do something called a pig roast where we dig a hole in the ground and you make like basically a makeshift oven with like that way you can feed in more wood so you have like a hole but we do it with we instead of digging in the ground usually we just stack up cinder blocks and then like cover
Mhm.
it strategically and that's how we would roast like a whole hog, a whole pig.
And that's like long, long roasting, right? Like that's
Oh
an
yeah, that thing will that
overnight
thing
kind
will
of
that
period.
thing will smoke over a fire, over like I think 5 to 8 hours, depending on how hot your fire is.
So there's like a cultural equivalent of this. Obviously, we don't eat pig in Pakistan, but the Muslim, in case you don't know, Muslim people don't eat pig.
Well aware,
We
but
are an
some of our
international
viewers,
incident.
might not know. Well aware, yeah,
Yeah.
yes sir.
This is an international incident, man. We got a white guy,
Yeah, for
brown
sure. Yeah,
guy,
white.
Christian guy, Muslim guy put together, man. So what they do here, I think, excuse me,
Hey, choke it out. Don't choke on your own
uh,
words. Hey, but
what
real
they
quick,
do.
that doesn't offend you that I eat pork. I mean, right? That doesn't offend you
Why should it offend me?
because I
You
had some
do it. I
delicious
mean,
crispy bacon yesterday.
listen, if you were shoving some of it down my throat, maybe I'd be a little offended. But like what do I care,
Well,
dude?
because
And
here in America, a lot of vegans will get on Twitter and be like, "How dare you?" You've seen the people those videos? They'll stand at the store where you buy food, and like I saw one where they were taking flowers and walking up to the steaks, the beef steaks, and setting flowers down on the beef steaks, and they're like, "This cow died for you. How dare you?" Like.
yeah, I'm sorry, but if there are any like vegan viewers out there, but let me tell you from a meat eating perspective, that doesn't work. I'ma still eat that steak. You're not helping the cause by like putting a flower out there. That
If
does not
anything,
deter me.
you're just kind of triggering me on my end, and I'm gonna eat two steaks now.
Yeah, sure, why not? Well, so I'm not interest. A couple of interesting side notes from that. I think that beef is actually the worst food for the. I'm not taking a vegan standpoint. I eat. You cannot imagine the sort of
No,
meat
I know
eating
where you're
culture
going
that
though.
we
Yep, I
that
know where you're
we
going.
are in Pakistan, right? But But beef
Hmm.
is so bad for the environment
Yep.
because you clear for a because we clear cut forests to build pastures, and you wouldn't think of it, but because of cow farts. One of the major contributors to greenhouse gases, like I think top three, top two, I'm gonna look this up as well, is cow farts and cow burps, man. And that's insane. Can you imagine?
I'm right there with you. But to rebuttal you on that one, um, we grow a lot of corn here in America, and that is horrible for the land. Tobacco's horrible for the land. Soy, horrible for the land. You got to switch stuff and you got to re-nutrient. And then what we end up eating has so much fertilizer and stuff to keep the ground fertile. And, like I'm regurgitating stuff I heard on smarter podcasts than ours. But again, check it out. Podcast two, smash that like. Man, yeah, dude, it's just as bad. We need to get back to gardens. Everybody needs to have a garden. I should have a garden out back. I feel guilty. I should have a big garden out back. And why don't I?
Oh, bro, that is something to talk about. One of these days soon we're going to do a what's it like, or we're going to do a podcast out in my garden, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and that's going to be another international incident,
You
bro.
show me. You
Growing.
show me. I'll go. I'll build a garden because my girlfriend. I know my girlfriend would love it. And I mean, sunny Florida. I can grow outside vegetables probably 9 months out of the year.
Oh, we'll get some growing going, buddy. Your
Let's
your
go.
boy Abdul. I've been gardening for about a decade now, and I'm like super special. I garden without soil, baby, and
Okay.
all natural, all
But what?
organic,
Well, that's outside without soil.
wherever I want, dude.
Okay.
For
We're gonna have
someone
to
who's
come. We're
a
gonna have to put a pin in this one and come back to it, I guess.
a couple of things to come back to tie a knot in our point about cows and methane. I can't conveniently find a statistic for exactly how much cows contribute to methane and all, but and you feel free to bash us up in the comments and share a link, and prove us wrong. But cows and their burps and farts, they're a lot worse than just corn or soy or even palm oil, because not only are you clear cutting the soil, the clear cutting the land, and like all sorts of herbicides and stuff, you're also burping and farting. It's the burps and farts that get you. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And coming back to before that, so a Dakota fire pit,
Okay.
okay, is a pit dug in the ground
Two
to
holes
an
like this,
elaborate
right?
gas.
Two
Yeah,
holes
yeah,
going
a
like
pit.
this.
Yeah, like that. Exactly like that. It said, I'm checking up on Wikipedia on it. Um, Fire pit. No, it's brought me to just fire pit. No, I want to see Dakota fire pit. Where is it? Little known survival relate. It's used for stealth camping, right?
Okay.
Stealth camping because you can't see far away. And what I especially liked about it is that it burns all of the wood. There's very little smoke to this kind of fire because there's enough air, right? You need for fire, children, please don't set fires. But if you're going to start a fire, Ryan, you need fuel, oxygen, and heat,
You need the same thing
right?
to run a car. Absolutely. Yes, sir. I'm on board.
Fuel, oxygen, and heat. So usually the
Or
thing that
spark.
causes incomplete combustion that makes your fire very smoky is that it's not getting enough oxygen.
Right.
So letting it
That's why
have
when
that.
you have a campfire and you go down to if this is the edge of the fire, boosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. So I put these like three concepts together: a Dakota fire hole, plus a vertical fire, plus a rocket stove, and I put them together.
Now let me
So I
ask you: when you
dug.
show up out there to the beach, are you burning beach wood? Is there driftwood out there? Are you bringing wood
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
you or?
We didn't bring wood with us. The location that we went out to, it's close to a river, so the villagers have the people on site as well that we were camping with. they had access to lots of really good, really dry driftwood.
Yep.
Usually, the wood that you see out here when I go out camping, it's usually very wet wood,
Yep.
which is why I'm good at campfires because I'm used to dealing
Yep.
with
Oh,
wet
dude,
wood.
wetwood is the worst, but I mean, yeah, dude, riverbank dry driftwood that's been in the sun, that
Oh,
shit burns so good, so hot. You don't need a
oh
lot. It
yeah.
lasts forever. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I found a nice sand dune instead of, we wanted to cook on the fire, right? Our plan was we were going to cook all of our own food,
Mm-hmm.
and we were going to cook it on our fire. We weren't going to use, there was a gas, little LPG propane cylinder there. We're
LPG.
like, we're not
Oh,
going
it's
to use
just
it.
like a little screw-in propane thing.
A little
Okay.
screw-in propane thing. We're like,
But
screw that, we're not going to use it.
yeah, no.
Um,
Did you at least have like a grate though, or
we had nothing. We're like, we're gonna do it ourselves. We'll figure it out.
straight
We'll do it
caveman
live.
style? Straight caveman
Straight
style.
caveman, bro. Straight caveman style. In the in when they were eating, a couple of the girls were like saying, "Oh, there this food tastes a little sandy," and someone came up with, "It's not sandy. It's just got some beach crunch. That's just beach crunch for that extra flavor."
I would have probably used some kind of a metal grate and established some sticks to keep it up above the sand.
Ah,
Hindsight's always
s-
2020, but it was good though. What did you have?
but
Beef, pork, or no, not pork? You didn't have pork. Beef. What was it? Beef or
so
chicken?
Dude, let me tell you what I did. I found a nice steep sand dune that was there, and a small one, right?
That's the
So
video I
that we
think I'm
could,
talking about. Yeah.
yeah, so that we could have a place to stand close to that was at about waist height, so we weren't working on the ground, wouldn't have to, like lean down into the fire. I dug a fire hole into the sand dune, and then I dug a couple of air holes in from the side to make sure it had enough air and we could control the fire. I built a vertical fire inside that guy to keep it going nice and slow. And I put a couple of sticks on top. I like used the shovel and dug a shelf out on top of on top of the hole. So we had a shelf on the side of the hole to put our stuff on. Then a couple of sticks on top of that, nice thick sticks. Put a saucepan on top of that. Stir fried some vegetables, bro.
Oh, you had a
Oven fried some
pan. You had a
fish.
pan.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had a pan. We did have a pan.
So the
Yeah, yeah. We
sand was
used a
probably
pan.
that got into it. Probably came from above. Probably came from the
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just a teeny tiny little bit. It
Eh, it
wasn't
happens.
much.
Eh, what are you gonna do? You go to the beach. You do it here in Florida. You go to the beach. You drink a beer. Sometimes you take a sip, and it's like sandpaper and apples. It happens.
It happens too. So that was one of my best fires, I must say,
Now I gotta tell
because
you, my best camping trip. Me and three of my buddies, we went camping in a place called the George Washington National Forest. Okay, now it's a wide open area. It's very remote. It was like a 2-hour drive from where we lived. This was in Virginia. It was a hunting reservation. We all also had our hunting licenses and we had guns on us. But basically, we went out there to have fun, indulge, uh, shoot some guns off, and camp. And this was the middle of the winter, and I was the only one who didn't bring a Sub-Zero sleeping bag. By the
oh,
way,
dude, you didn't have a good time, did you?
luckily my buddy had two, and after like an hour or two, he was like, "Well, I was gonna use mine as a padding, but I can tell you're cold as shit, so here, take this one, and I'll take yours and use it as a padding." And I was like, "Deal." And I literally slept with my gun in my sleeping bag, and we were shooting off guns and stuff. But the main point I wanted to make was what we did was we took a big, I don't know if you ever had a London broil. It's a big cut of beef. It's a little tough. It's
Which
not.
part of the cow is it?
I'm not sure exactly. It's somewhere on the rear hind, I believe, but it's a little
That's the
tough.
good meat.
So
That's the
but it's
good
one of those
stuff.
ones that it's not exactly good if you don't marinate it. But what we did is we
Yeah.
pre-marinated it, and then we went out camping, and then we made our campfire, and I wish I had it on camera. I have what's called a United States Marine Corps K-bar, which is just a big, most solid, best knife in the world you'll ever need type knife. And I would cut off pieces of this raw London broil that had been marinated for like 24 to 36 hours, I forget. and then we would just put a stick through it, kind of kebab style, and just hold it over the fire. And we're just sitting around
Uh,
passing the whiskey, passing the wacky tobacco, and eating pieces. And I even brought A1 steak sauce just to put a little oomph on it. So you'd put some A1 on it and then just let it roast
oh,
right on my mouth. My mouth is watering right
dude.
now, dude, thinking about
Dude, I
that.
want to call you out on that great steak and I'll talk about it. But I got a note first while I enjoy my nice cold Coca-Cola. It's okay for you to sit and have a nice bud when we're having our podcast, but guns and beers don't mix, bro. You got to
No,
be safe
okay,
with your
so listen,
guns.
okay, so let me. You need me to expand on that? I have a
I'd call you
I have
out
a
on that, bro.
concealed
Like,
carry permit, right?
okay,
Okay,
well,
so
good. That was going to be my second question.
we're in a national forest where there is bears.
Yes,
Okay, so I need to have
that's why
active
you
protection
slept
me
with
all the
it.
time. Now we're camping with the boys and we're drinking. We're not shooting guns like that. Now we did shoot a little bit, but when we did, we hiked off to a nice remote spot where there's a back of the hill, and we set up a couple targets and we shot some guns off. Okay, completely safe. But what I meant was at night I had cold steel against my skin in my sleeping bag because I'm in bear country. I'm gonna have a gun on me. Fuck you. Bear comes out. I mean, I at least want to make a lot of noise.
Yeah,
So yeah,
thank you for clarifying. I think
thank you.
that
Yeah, thanks
answers
for
all my
calling that out because
questions. Yeah.
that could have been misconstrued.
Why were you sleeping with the gun? They're
Cause cause
bears.
because there's bears and there's three of us in a thin tent and we're in the
Wait, there's
middle of
three
bear
of you?
country in the middle of
That
winter and we had just cooked steak. So that's like a oh god, what does that smell? Let's come check this out. So I had my gun on the ready in my sleeping bag with me because yeah, remember. Sorry,
dude.
Karachi. Politics aside, PC stuff aside, we're in the middle of a national
No,
forest. I
no.
was in Virginia and I have a concealed carry permit in that state. I was ready to kill any bear that came at me, but I don't hunt. I don't hunt. I'm not a hunter. I'm not a killer. I'm a lover. I'll put that out there. I do like to fish, but I throw them back. I don't even eat
Ah,
seafood. Do you eat seafood?
I love. Oh, I'm gonna come to seafood, but let's tie a bow in our issue about guns. But yeah, dude, three dudes. When you said it was a trip, I imagine there was like 12 of you out there, and that really changes your safety out in the wild. But three dudes, one tent. No, that's scary. So I
In
have three
bear
questions.
country,
Yeah,
and this is
in bear
Virginia. This
country.
is remote
Yeah.
Virginia on the east coast of the United States.
So you had it for good reason. You have a permit for it, which was question two, and question one was were you being responsible with the guns,
Oh,
and you
absolutely.
clarified all three
And
of
but
those
also,
points.
did we
Yeah,
go shoot them in the remotest part of the forest?
yeah,
Absolutely.
hey,
And we had
dude,
a blast
hey,
doing it.
dude, they're tools, not toys, right? Like, and
And
that's the thing you
right
have
in
to
the
make
middle,
it.
they are tools. It's self defense. How I see it, it's self defense. We have something called the Second Amendment here in America. It's my born right to be able to have arms to protect myself against somebody because you could try to take my gun away, but bad guys can still get guns illegally. So that's kind of my semi right leaning stance on it. I don't want to get too political, but I mean, it's a
That
tool, and at that point, if I'm out in the middle of bear country, I mean, would you want me to fight a bear with a sword? And I didn't even have a shotgun; I just had a pistol, and my other buddies had a couple pistols, so we each had guns. Actually, there was a shotgun there. There was one shotgun and three pistols.
I was just going to say, three of you went alone into bear country without a shotgun. That does not sound like you're not going to shoot the bear,
Yeah,
because
there
if
were
you shoot
thinking
a
back
bear,
on it. There was like at least one shotgun and three pistols, and
yeah,
one of those
because
pistols
yeah.
was a 357, which the bullet on that
Ooh,
is
that's
absolutely
that's a big
massive.
one. But if you shoot a bear with again, I might be wrong on this. Maybe you can correct me. Maybe someone in the comments can correct me. But if you shoot a bear with a
Twizzlers.
357, Twizzlers is the secret word. If you're watching, say that, and you're going to get a shout out in the next episode. But um, if you shoot a bear with a 357 or with a shotgun, you're not going to put down the bear. You're
No.
just going to make him angry.
And to be honest, it would honestly be last resort. To be honest, let's say me, you, and one other guy are sitting in the tent, and then we start hearing and like hit. I'm gonna pull out my pistol and just like cat cat cat, just shoot straight up. Maybe it'll scare him off, and we'll all just start yelling, ah bear, and he'll be like, what the fuck, and he'll just run off. We're not trying to kill the bear. I'm not hunting a bear. I want to, but in bear country, yeah, I want to survive. And last resort, he comes into the tent. I'm gonna mag dump in his face, and if he
Yeah.
doesn't die and I die, then that's what it is. At least I went out fighting.
Well, I think I talk about bears a lot actually. And there's a theater exercise that we use called the Bear of Orleans,
A little closer to your
um,
mic.
in which really the what we teach them is, and I believe this is a myth, that bears don't eat dead things, and in case you're attacked by a bear, just play dead. But we've all seen that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where he finally won his Oscar, where that bear, dude, I saw that film in the
Oh, they eat
cinema.
dead things.
And halfway through the mauling, I was like, listen, why don't you just leave him alone? I got the idea, he really hurt Leo. Why do I have to keep watching?
Yeah, that was a good movie
It's
though.
Bears are no joke. So that was a great movie. Great movie that was.
Yeah, I'm just
Uh,
saying, man. Here, over on this side of the pond, we, if we go camping, you guys didn't have any kind of protection. You didn't have any knives or anything.
we had knives, dude. Yeah, yeah.
Is
We
there
we
any
had
but
knives.
is there any predators where you're camping? Okay, so when you're camping in the mountains and there's bears and also possibly mountain lions, in depending on where you're camping, and then if you're in Florida, also alligators. Yeah, I'm gonna have some sort of protection on me. Usually when I go camping, I have a nice big knife that's
Hmm.
utility protection, cutting up food, stuff like that, and I have ways to clean it. And then I'll also have at least a sidearm on me just for protection. I'm a certified carrier. I've been shooting gun. I mean, I've been shooting guns for 23 years at this point. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think even staying away from the political issue of should people be allowed to have guns, should concealed carry be a thing or not, or whatever the social and safety ramifications of that are. When you go out into the wild, dude, and if you go out into the wild without those tools, you're no, you're doing a bad, because like for example, and animals learn, right? Like I've had friends, I've met a United States Marine Navy diving instructor once. A Navy diving instructor, dude. Like these are the people who are trained to jump off the ship with nothing, like jump naked off the ship, swim down, find an enemy diver, kill the diver, take his gear, and swim back up. So they're like on top of their game. I got to recreational dive with this gentleman, and one of the things that he told me was that the sharks have learned that big Navy ships throw food out when they stop at port. So he said the sharks just follow the big ships around, and instead of eating all of the jellyfish, the entire ecosystem is changing because the sharks are like, we're just going to follow these big ships around.
I can
So
see
if
that.
you're going out there and just giving a meal to the bears come and eat you. Every time a camper goes out there, the bear's going to see that and be like, hey, yummy, I want to eat
Well,
that.
now there's also to be considered. There's different species of bears. So if you're in different parts of the country, different bears are more aggressive than others. But you're absolutely
Hmm.
right. You're 110% on right on that. A lot of bears will just come in looking to get whatever food they smell. Maybe the stir fry me and you cooked the night before. They're coming in looking for it at 4 in the morning. So one will scare them off. A lot of times, I've never carried it, but I've camped with people who've carried it. We'll carry those big cans of bear spray, the OC spray, the non-lethal,
Hmm.
so you can shh. But I
You know,
mean, you get face to face with a bear. I'm
how do
sorry,
you,
I wouldn't.
don't,
If I'm face to face with a bear, I don't want an aerosol can. I want a firearm.
so look, I think that's an interesting thing to ask, especially since we talked about vegans and, being cruelty to animals, right?
hmm
If I was face to face with a bear and I had to choose between a 9 millimeter and a can of bear mace, I choose the bear mace every day of the week
Wow.
because I know that the bear mace is going to make this predator stop attacking me. We know what that stuff does. The gun, and let me finish. The gun is just pain management. This beast can take a lot of pain, but
Mm-hmm.
the pepper spray is gonna put it down. It's gonna be unable to attack me anymore.
I
The
disagree that
reason I
I could
the
go in.
reason
Okay,
the
go keep going.
reason
Sorry.
yeah, the reason I want to use the reason I don't want to use the pepper spray is that I feel that's cruelty to the animal, because then that animal's not going to know to wash it off, and it's going to be in his face for maybe weeks. Maybe he'll have some permanent damage
Hours,
and
hours,
die.
not weeks.
So
Hours, not weeks.
but really, you know that for a fact
Yep.
that if we
Yes,
bear
sir. Yes,
mace a
sir.
bear
Yeah,
in
hours.
hours, it's okay,
Even if he doesn't wash it out, it'll only affect him for about hours. The
and no
only
permanent
residual effects
damage.
would possibly be, and they can smoke me in the comments if they want. If it got on, if it stays on his fur and then it rains and then slowly drips back into his eyes, he might get some residual effects. But the initial hit. Now, I want to say, let's say you're face to face with. Do you know who Brock Lesnar is?
Yes.
Okay. Now, would you? Let's say he's charging you. Okay, let's take a bear out of the equation. Brock Lesnar is charging. Would you want something that goes real fast that blinds him, but he can still forward attack motion, or would you want something that you could possibly shoot him directly in the forehead with?
So that's where my engineering comes in. If it's Brock Lesnar and we're talking about a human being, not a bear,
No, no, no.
still a
All right,
human
let's go back
being.
to bear then. No, I don't. Let's stay on it.
Let's go back to
So
bear. Yeah.
okay, so it's your point of contention that if you're up against a bear in the public,
Hmm.
or not the public woods is what I meant.
Wherever.
You're
Yeah.
out camping, you and your boys. Bear runs in. Okay, bear runs in. You're going for a can of OC spray. You just want to hit him in the face. Okay. I don't know
And
if
let
you've
me.
listened to any Steve Ranella or Adam Greenfield or any of the Joe Rogan hunting podcasts or anything like that, but man, everybody goes out into grizzly territory. It carries a huge aggressive sidearm because what that'll do is you have two options. Okay, when you pull out a gun on a bear, the first is to scare them off with the noise. The second is to try to neutralize them. Okay, you don't want to shoot them. I'm out hunting deer or elk. I'm not looking for bear. But a bear comes up on you. I mean, it's me. It's you or the bear, dog. Now you're gonna slowly walk away backwards like this. But man, I don't know, dog. OC spray. You think in that
Let
scene in
me
the
let me
Revenant?
let me tell you.
You
Let me
think if
tell you why,
Leo
bro.
had, if he didn't have that gun and he had bear spray, that's he would it would have been a little better for him. I don't know,
Let me
man.
tell you why. Let me engineer my way
Yes,
to you
sir.
why. And I think you framed it very well for me to do exactly that. So the bear, we're talking about an equation where the bear is actively charging you, where this 500 kilo beast is actively barreling towards you, right? So if I have a weapon, right, one of two things is the issue with the weapon. A, the weapon is not big enough to stop the bear. Even if I do shoot it, I just hurt it. One. Or two, if I do have a weapon that is big enough to stop the bear, right?
I have to
That's number
stop you.
two.
I have to stop you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we hunt, okay, we use 308s, 556, 762s, big calibers, right? We try to hit them right here as a humane
But
kill, okay?
but those
That
aren't
does not mean
sidearms.
a 9 millimeter Hydra shock, which is a hollow point with a titanium rod in it. If I hit a bear in the face 3 times right here, that does not mean he's gonna die. Or if I just puncture him a couple, that doesn't mean it's not gonna stop him, or it will stop him. All right, but it might
So
not
so
be
so
a humane death, which is how we try to kill them when we go hunting.
no
In
no no
self
hold on.
defense, you're kidding. If I mag dump 12 rounds of 9 millimeter Hydra shock, anything running at me, including a moose, they're dead. It's done. Bye.
Dude, so hold on. I'm gonna come right. Um, uh, the bigger calibers you mentioned were big caliber guns. B, we're not talking about a humane kill. We're talking about an equation where there's a bear charging me.
Self
I want to
defense.
live,
Self
right? We're
defense.
not talking about humane kills. If you've been if and so if we're also let's see, I see the bear 20 feet away. Let's make it more real, right? The bear is 20 feet away
You should
when the
see what
bear
I actually can do
when
it 20 feet away. I could hit him right here 4 times.
there's now, oh, so that's why I picked that number. I tricked you. So if I have a knife and you have a gun that's still in its holster and I'm closer than 20 feet, nope. They tried with trained Marines, they tried with trained cops inside 20 feet. The knife wins every time, right? And you're telling me you've been shooting for 23 years that under
I
pressure,
see you
you're
at
going to
20
pull
feet and I
out
have
your
a
weapon?
holstered pistol. All right, ready? Let's count it down. How
Look
far?
it up.
How long is it
Look
gonna
it up.
take you to advance at me at 20 feet?
No, no, you also have to hit. You have to take out the gun. You're gonna be
I just
walking
cleared a
around.
chambered round and put five on you.
Hold on. Let me come at you. You're not listening. So if
I'm
you're
not.
not going to listen, everyone knows that I'm right and you're being ignorant, especially because you're American. So look, it's not just pulling out your. You're the gun expert here, mind you. I'm not. I've never fired a real sidearm. The only thing I've fired is a skeet gun, which is a real
It's a
weapon, right?
shotgun. Yeah,
Gunpowder
that's
weapon, a
essentially a
shotgun.
shotgun. Yes, sir.
So you've been carrying a weapon for 23 years. You have a concealed carry weapon. When your weapon is in your holster, is there a round in the chamber? It's cocked and the safety is off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way you carry your gun.
Yep. On my specific carry gun, so they make sidearms different. Some of them have the safety
Hmm.
built into the trigger, but when
Hmm.
you carry it concealed in the style holster that it has, there's no need to have
Hmm.
the safety on. We call it you want to be hot because if you're not hot, you might be not. You might have to you might have to rack it, and then in that second you're racking it, somebody sees you have a gun and you get shot.
So this is so look. I don't have the gun knowledge
Yes, sir.
to talk to
I
you
let
about
me
this.
just
Say
can I
my
add? I grew up. My dad was a range master where people go to practice with pistols.
yeah.
My dad did that for a living. So
Yeah, like I immediately want to say no, but that's not safe. It doesn't have a safety. But look, I don't have the knowledge. I don't know. I don't use that
the
tool.
main thing is it has
I
a trigger guard on it. It's the way your holster is. It's a hard plastic
okay.
thing, so nothing will hit it. The only thing, and you won't hit it on the way out. So when you pull it out, you pull it. You put. I mean, you don't put your finger in. You don't hook it. You
Hmm.
pull it out. You pull it out like that, and then
Yeah.
we also
So
at the range, what we'll do is because look, a lot of people will just go to the range, put a target down on the other end, and sit there and or no, motherfucker, not me. We were training like this, man. I mean, we're sitting there. That's how we would train, like real tactical type shit. I trained at Blackwater. Let me know in the comments if you know what Blackwater is. My friend's
I
dad
know.
was the vice.
Isn't that those crazy CIA
Yeah, they
mercenaries that the
fucked up. They
government
did some
has?
shit. They changed their name, but at one point, the vice president was my buddy's dad, and I went down there and got to do all this tactical weapons training, and like got to
Hmm.
fire like automatic weapons and fire M16s out of cars and shit like that. It was fun. So,
Yeah, so bro, like the most I know is firing that one thing, and I've taken a basic handgun orientation course as part of some self-defense training that I
right.
was part of designing. So I can't talk on that subject, but what I can tell you is that the 20-foot rule is real. We're not like set up. Maybe we'll do something like this on the news, but I'm gonna ask you to look it up. I'm gonna ask you to make a note and look it up after the
I
podcast, and
don't
maybe
know,
we can
dude.
talk about it in the next one.
I
But this is real, where
maybe at
some they
5 feet. If you could probably get me at 5 feet. At 20 feet, you're gone, dog.
bro,
If I know you're attacking at 20 feet, you're gone. If you
I
better be
would.
sneaking me.
So as a gun user, I would like you to look up the research, tell me what your opinion is on about it, and maybe we can design a non-lethal experiment
There
where
is
we
a
can
lot. So
test it out with
dude, there's
you.
a lot of cop videos. I mean, they'll put 9 rounds into a guy and he doesn't go down. I mean,
They tried it. They tried this 20-foot rule with cops as well, bro. With trained sharpshooter cops who were at the top of like the fastest guys who are pulling their shit out. That's why I'm standing on
I'll
it
do a
so
little more
strong.
research on it, but
That's what I'm asking,
hey,
bro.
let me
That's
tell
what
you
I'm
about the
asking.
20-foot rule when you don't have a gun and they have a knife and you don't have shit. So we'll put a pin in that one for now. We'll come back to
Well,
that.
as a self-defense trainer, I can tell you if he has a knife, both of you are gonna get cut, but that doesn't mean he's gonna
Oh,
win the fight.
I know but also I mean, statistically, I'm still gonna have more of a chance if I do have a gun. and especially if it's strategically concealed. No, you're dead
That's
wrong on
where
that
that
one.
20 that's why I'm disagreeing with you, specifically
No,
citing that
no,
20-foot
no.
rule. That's what I'm basing
Most
my
times,
opinion on.
people, if you pull out a gun, you have to shoot it. If you don't shoot it, that's when
Yeah,
people
dude.
gets guns taken from them and get shot with their own gun.
No, dude. Even in not being a gun owner, we are a gun owning country. You can get a license and get a gun, and there's no concealed carry or whatever. If you have a gun, you can do whatever you want with it in Pakistan, pretty much. But I do agree with this, that the gun is a tool. You take your gun out to shoot someone. You don't take it out to
Okay. So
to
you
wave it
also see,
around and tell
here's
threaten
where
people, right?
our fucking, and I love you. Let's do the Naruto real quick. Or the not the
Oh, you're
Naruto. What's
over
that
there.
anime thing? Put it up higher. Put it up higher. You gotta do the one finger. Come closer. 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 There we go. Smile.
Yeah.
There's the thumbnail. Um, yeah, man. I guess we just grew up a little different. So you say as a tool in America, man. For us, it's a fucking right. For most of
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
I mean, it's how we became a country. We use it. We used it for years until we created factory farming, which is one of the biggest fucking pieces of shit things to ever happen out of the industrial revolution because it's killing the climate. But we'll talk about that later. Then, never mind.
I think you're being a little defensive about that
I
point,
am
buddy,
a
and
little bit
I'm
like I
gonna
love guns and like you never take my guns and
because I'm saying the same thing that you're saying,
I'm not
really,
being
and I
defensive to
want.
you. I feel like I'm being more defensive to the world. So I'm sorry if I'm coming off more defensive to you, but I'm just like it's probably viewed a little differently in Pakistan, but in America, I mean like one of my fondest memories, dude, growing up, 8 years old, was my freaking grandfather, rest in peace, teaching me how to shoot a 22. I mean, that's a kid's gun, man. It's like a B. It's an advanced BB gun, basically. Um, we've never been big into hunting. The only things I've actually killed and eaten have been squirrels in my life or bass fish. And I think fishing is actually more boring because you don't get to use a gun. You just kind of sit there and drink beer and wait for something to bite.
No,
but
man, I think I'm very aligned on those things that you said there, that
this
someone taught you, someone mature, experienced, who knew what they were doing,
yeah,
sat you down and taught you how to use the
you
gun,
can't
and
get
that when
a I
you.
can't you can't get a license to conceal the gun and hide it without taking classes and getting
Mm,
certifications.
yeah, yeah.
Do I
No, that that
agree?
that
Do
that
I
makes
agree
sense.
with?
Yeah.
Now I know the chat's probably going to go well. Do I agree that it needs to be stricter? Probably yes. There needs to be more vetting. Um, but I mean, in some places, like okay, well, I grew up right outside Washington D.C. In Washington D.C., you can't have a gun, but where I lived, you could. In Northern Virginia, you could. In New York City, you can't have a pistol at all, concealed or otherwise. You just can't even own a pistol. I'm pretty sure is the current gun law on that. Um, I don't know. I think we've been ranting on guns. Let's put a pin in this. Come back to guns. It's just a sensitive topic for me because in our Constitution, the first one is my ability to talk about whatever the fuck I want, and my second one is the ability to defend myself. So that's like the first two morals of anything. Anything else in life is below those two. I feel like I can say whatever I want and I can protect myself.
And that's definitely. I think that was a fun little discussion we had about that, and I think I'm really gonna love seeing what the chat has to say about it, and we'll
They're gonna
definitely
tear
come
my
back to
redneck
it.
looking ass apart.
I think if you guys agree with us or disagree with us and want us to talk more about this, let us know, because where we're going to carry on from is that last wonderful point that Ryan just made, where he equated having a gun with being able to defend yourself, and we're going to leave that as a cliffhanger right now.
That is a
But
cliffhanger because that can be
as a self
interpreted
as
many
a
ways.
yeah, as a self-defense trainer, specifically as an urban self-defense trainer,
As a
not out in the
certified,
wild,
as a
not
certified,
fighting.
I have a
Yeah,
concealed carry permit.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll put a
So
pin
I
in that.
think that discussion, that does a gun mean that you're able to defend yourself, or that you're safe? Do those two things go together? That's, I think, I'd
That's a
love to
hot
take that
button.
up as a
We
talking
need an
about.
animation. Hot button. We need a hot button animation. That's a hot
Yeah,
button
so
topic.
hopefully we've got a wonderful graphic designer buddy working for us, and that's one of the things he's told me that he's getting us done. We'll have like an animation with different emojis
Look at
around
that. Oh,
our
that
logo.
Look at that. You see
Yeah.
the
So
logo? That looks so good. Look right above your
is it,
head.
it's over there,
No, it's right above
right
your
there,
head. Oh yeah, look at
right
that.
there.
That's dope.
So we'll be able to push a button and like a different emoji will go around the world depending on how we're feeling. I
So
think that's
can
pretty
we
cool.
can we touch back to something we covered in our news story? Um, I don't know where what happened to you if you've done anything yet. Where we talked about that Holly Berry story that Alexandra Daddario, who I absolutely love. Shout out Ruby Taff, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Where they've been talking about how they haven't been wearing pants in 2020, right? And they've been
I
taking.
haven't been. I wasn't wearing pants in 2019 as long as I could get away
But
with
what they've
it.
been doing is they remember this. They were taking the selfies with the no pants on, and then we agreed to do it. Well, I did it at City Hall in front of Christmas lights, and within about 2 3 minutes, I got a couple good shots. A little blurry. My girlfriend's not the best photographer. Shout out Agent M. She's getting better. Yeah. We're trying. We're all trying.
I'm
But
sure
I'm
they're
wondering,
gorgeous
have you taken
photographs.
your pants off in public picture yet?
I have not yet, but I have a schedule for it for Wednesday at 6 a.m. my time. I've gotten a friend of mine. She's a professional photographer.
You're gonna
She's
one
gonna
up me
come
with the
on down
quality.
and she's like suggested a place in the
Shit.
old city where there's some colonial architecture
Oh
and
shit.
apparently a garbage dump. That's all I know so far. She's
So
like,
you're
there's
actually
a
gonna do
garbage dump.
like a
Yeah,
glamour, like a glamour
yeah,
shot. Oh god.
something like that,
Ours
dude.
was more like a we're at City Hall. Let's get the fuck in and out of here before we get arrested.
I liked the picture, buddy. I just thought it wasn't close enough to see your
Well,
comfortable little
again,
knees
rookie
out there, man.
photographer, and we're both at City Hall coming back from dinner, and like let's get the fuck out of here. I can
You got to
try
get
it. I
bonus
can try.
points
I
for
need to.
City Hall.
Yo, if you're in Orlando and you're a glamour shot, I have a couple people I actually. Yeah. All right, Shahayam. Let's go on that one. Let's go on
So
that
that's
one.
something to watch out for on Instagram. But something to watch out for, Ryan. I don't know if you do you remember I told you I tell you what a shawarma was?
Yeah. And I told you shut up and save that for the podcast. I'll do that. So what we'll do sometimes is we'll meet up before the podcast, just have a couple quick and dirty minutes to talk about where we're at and what we're doing, and he'll start talking about. Save that. So yeah, go. What you got? What
Yeah,
is
so you
this?
thought your mouth was watering
Oh
when we
man,
talked
are you
about
gonna
the
make me
steak, bro.
hungry? Are you gonna make me hungry?
So
What?
this is called a shawarma.
Oh, I think that's called a burrito, but let's go.
It's kind of like an Arabic burrito. It's kind of like an Arabic burrito. It's what they make in all over the Middle East.
What is in it? Let's go.
It's like a little pita, right? It's a little pita wrap. And what this one has got inside it, oh, let me call it out. I kept it open for you so I could tell you. This is called the original Beiruti.
Okay.
Beirut. Do you know where Beirut is?
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, there was a thing in a war and something like that there.
In Lebanon.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
there you go. Whoa, Jesus, man,
Take a,
man, you planned this. Oh, you planned this, man. I know I gotta go make food when we're done filming this.
it's an authentic Lebanese chicken shawarma. It has chicken,
Shawarma's so good.
garlic aioli, which is kind of like a garlic sauce,
Oh yeah, I know. I'm Italian,
French
but
fries,
oh my,
French fries inside it, and it's got pickles. I don't like pickles, though it shouldn't have pickles. I told them no pickles, but I don't care. The
does it have
garlic
pickles?
aioli, it does have pickles. I
In
don't
here in
even care,
America,
dude.
are the best chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A, and it has pickles. Oh
Ah,
my God, this. Oh Jesus.
mm,
I
I'm not a
mean,
fan of pickles.
all
So,
gods, Muslim, God, Allah, Buddha,
have you
Jesus.
seen? You
My
must have
mouth,
seen.
dude, my mouth is legit.
Oh,
Like now I'm hungry, Abdul. Thank you. I'm gonna go cook some
oh.
bacon and eggs after this. Check out
So
also the What's It Like? Did you notice? Did you see that one? The bacon and eggs episode. That's a traditional American breakfast right there, man. Throw in some potatoes, maybe some bread. Good stuff. But that thing is making it look good. Is it a tortilla or pita bread?
it's a pita bread, pita bread, and they're like different kind of shawarmas.
A little
You
thicker.
must have seen, yeah, really thin, really thin. It's just like a container, a vessel for the meat inside. The bread in
Yes.
and of itself is
A
like
top.
it
Yes.
has character, but
A taco shell is just the vessel for the insides. Yes.
So, you have you seen this crazy picture from, I think it's a Middle Eastern picture where there's this huge vertical, just like rotating thing of meat in front of some fire, and the guy is
Yeah.
rotating it slowly.
Yeah. That's called shawarma, right?
That's called shawarma. That's what I'm
And then they
having right
slice
now,
it
bro.
off. Dog, are you kidding me? I'm cultured. Yeah.
Ah, so did you know? So it's unfortunately this is not what I'm eating right now, but I got spoiled when I lived in Saudi Arabia for a few years, which we'll talk about later. We're on shawarma right now. Is that you don't have to cook it vertically. A nicer way to cook it is when you cook it horizontally on top of a bed of coals instead of the gas fire.
But does it
So you
still
have
auto
that.
rotate?
Yeah, it still auto rotates, and they cook it on coal, which and it cooks in its own juices, which tastes nicer. And then they take that, dude. My mouth is watering now talking about it,
You take a bite of your freaking. Look at that thing, man. That's a Karachi
dude.
burrito right there, bruh.
It's not good. So for me, dude, like I'd have this double stuff. There's not enough chicken and there's no cheese in it. There should be cheese.
Yeah, cheese
I'd
is a
have them put in
must.
like double meat, double cheese, double veggies, and like,
Dude, I had a salad last night with goat milk feta cheese. Oh,
hmm.
so good. Love feta cheese. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite type of cheese? Cheddar, feta, Monterey Jack. Maybe you American kind of guy. Those that fake stuff that says pasteurized cheesed product on the box. I don't know. What's your
All the
favorite type of
cheese.
cheese, Abdul?
All the cheese is my favorite.
Yeah, I can pretty
Any and
much eat
all cheese, as much
Parmesan,
as you can get.
mozzarella. You know what I mean? All that stuff, Doug. Hell yeah.
But
You're
dude,
making
there's
me
still like,
hungry now, man. All right, well, let's keep going for a
there's
little bit.
still
You're just golly.
there's
How you
still a
gonna eat on the
small.
podcast and not give me the heads up? My stomach.
I told you what a
I
shawarma
think I got some.
was.
I got some kind of candy that looks like a fish and it's red.
Oh,
Eat that.
dude. So we gotta make a note. One of these days, I gotta eat. I gotta mail you some candy from Pakistan,
Okay.
and yeah, that's gonna be fun. And it's the YouTuber thing to do, right? There is a YouTube video of like Americans eating Pakistani snacks, and I'll get
We could
some
do. I could
American
mail you
snacks.
some. I could mail you some American candy. Yep, that'll
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still a small shop in Saudi Arabia in the Mam somewhere, which has a special shawarma that's not on the menu, and it's called the Abdul Alim.
No way.
Yeah, bro.
Now, is your name common over there? Like, for instance, if my name was John Smith, would that be
Hmm.
common?
No. Alim is so my name is my first name is actually Abdul Alim. There's two parts of my first name.
There's a dash.
There's a dash,
There's a
right?
dash.
I find it easier to go with Abdul because it sort of works out for me in the Arabic meaning. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about it. Let me. So Alim is one of the names of God in Islam,
Okay.
right? It means the all-knowing, the one who knows everything. Now, obviously, they can't name me Alim because if I'm a human being and I know everything, that's blasphemous, right? That's one of the names of God.
Okay. Well,
So,
let's put a pin in that for a second because that would be like okay in English calling somebody Jesus, but in Spanish they'll say de Jesus, but it's spelled Jesus. But it
yeah, yeah.
doesn't next. It doesn't mean I don't. Shoot,
So,
comments
so
about to
the
roast me. Oh my god.
the literal word Alim in Arabic means the one who knows everything,
Okay.
right? And one of the tenets of Islam is that the only being or the only being or entity that knows everything is Allah, is God, right? So obviously that's not me. In case you haven't
Right.
noticed,
You
so
don't
so
know
my
shit.
name is yeah, my name is Abdul Alim, and Abdul means servant. So my name actually means the servant of the
Okay. Okay.
all-knowing, right? Um, so sometime around college, and wow, I've never really told this story to a lot of people,
Let's go.
but
That's the best type.
when I was growing up, everyone really just used to call me Alim because they were very casual about it, right? And when I got to college, when I was in university, rather, I was hanging out with some kid. I was a freshman, and the kids I was hanging out with were seniors, and they'd all call me my last name, which was Shekhani. Um, I didn't like that. I was like, no, screw you. That's not my name. That's my last name.
Wow.
I'm not a cadet college brat like you
Wow.
fuckers.
Can we put a pin in it
Uh,
real quick?
yeah,
So you know my name is Ryan Villa, right?
yeah.
I always was called Villa growing up. Most of my real friends call me Villa, not Ryan.
I'm gonna have to work my way up to that as we get to know each other.
And you know Villa also has Roman origins, and it means but in modern language it means by way of. But just like Smith means blacksmith, back then Villa would mean road builders. So I guess my ancestors used to build roads.
Ah. Well, you are building roads in modern worlds all the way from Orlando to Karachi, Pakistan,
Let's
buddy.
go.
It's an
And also
international incident.
so Ryan has origins in early English language. I don't know if it was Saxon. I think thinking back on it, but anyways, the root definition of that is kingly. So if you translated my name, it would kind of be like King Road Builder.
Hey, that's cool,
Fitting,
man.
right? Let's
Maybe
go.
that can be maybe that can be one of your gaming tags on our
King
AII
Road Builder.
gaming
Let's go.
episodes, right? One
So
of
your
the
last name, does it have any additional meaning?
not that I know of. I
It's
think the
just
word
kind of the
the I
heritage
think
line.
Shekhani is just the heritage line that's coming down. So they all used to call me that, and I got all
So,
whingy
so,
about. Listen, that's not my name. My name is Aleem,
so
and they
basically,
were
servant
engineers.
of God, and then your
Yeah,
father's
servant
name.
of God. Yeah.
Cool,
So they
man. That's actually
so
really interesting.
when I brought this up as a freshman engineer, all of the fourth year engineers immediately caught me out and said, "No, screw you. Your name isn't Aleem. Your name is Abdul Aleem." Right? And they were trying to one up me, right? They're like, haha, I bet you he
Oh
doesn't want us to
shit.
call him Abdul Aleem, you know? And I was like, screw you guys. Yeah, that's my name. My name is Abdul Aleem. Screw you. That's it. Call me that from now on.
Well, so now
And
you're
then
Abdul Aleem, but I just call you Abdul, and you call me Ryan.
that's what I prefer. Like, dude, you can't have two names, right?
Or
I can't have
Karachi, but
people.
you go by Karachi because you're the best drone pilot out there. But I don't go by Orlando because I'm not the best. And you're not going to call me Winter Springs. I won't go with that. But I am the best pilot in all of Winter Springs. I'll throw that out there right now.
Yeah, shout out. If you're in Winter Springs, then the gauntlet has been
See, a lot
thrown.
of people don't know who watches me and Abdul. This guy here. See this guy right here. We met actually through drones. We fly a lot of drones. We're big into drones, racing drones, freestyle drones, DJI drones, stuff like that. Cool stuff. But man, this has been a fun one, dude. I got a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of grumpy this morning. Um,
Yeah, dude, and I think we're gonna save for next episode. We're gonna talk about um, technical difficulties and gremlins, and then how they affect our inner chi, and how
Gee,
we should
dog, and I,
help regulate our
you know
inner
what I
chi.
really have to love to have a discussion with you on is like mental health, especially in the area of men and like how it's perceived there in Pakistan. I don't know if you want to keep it going now, but that'd be just an interesting topic just to see internationally, like just how it's different between here in America and over where you're at in Pakistan, Karachi, and hell yeah, man. So I don't know.
I think that's a super interesting topic that deserves a whole chunk of time on its own.
Yeah,
I think this has been a great discussion
yeah,
so
I
far.
agree.
We need to get you some snacks in your belly. It's just about supper
I
time.
mean, I can't live on candy, and you're over here eating delicious looking freaking shawarma,
Oh,
dog. Like,
I got
let's
I
go.
got another one in the fridge. I got
Oh, let's
another one in the
go.
fridge, dude. And the other one, let me tell you about the other one.
Oh man.
Uh, the other one is called the Edgeware Special. It has chicken, garlic aioli, because you gotta have garlic aioli
Yeah,
and
garlic
everything. It's
oils.
just
I
the
mean,
best
let's
thing.
go.
It's got pita hot sauce,
Ooh.
iceberg,
Oh,
tomatoes,
mm.
fries, and pickles.
Don't wait too long though. Those fries and that iceberg will get soggy way too long,
Oh
dude.
no, bro! This is something. I think this is something we can pick up the next. Let's see if someone's watching this. Catch us on the next podcast and see if you can keep us honest and see if we start with this topic. But your boy Abdul is crazy, man. I like cold food. I don't like heating it up. Even this, I had it in the fridge. I didn't put it in the microwave,
It
and I
depends.
will eat it cold. All food, dude. Like I crazy. I eat rice cold. I eat pizza cold. I eat shawarma cold. I eat burgers cold.
Burgers?
Kebabs. Whatever, it just tastes better. Okay, it tastes better. I
Oh
like it.
my
Don't
God.
judge me.
Somebody write that down, man. We got a couple topics for the next one. Oh man. That's crazy. Burgers cold, fries cold, they get soggy, they get soft.
You gotta have the right kind of fries.
Hey,
You
you
gotta,
can
and
ask
you
any
gotta get
woman in
them the
this
right
world,
amount
okay?
of
You can ask
cold.
any woman in this world, okay? There's nothing good about soft. I like my fries crispy. Um, and I mean, you saw my breakfast video. Oof, those I double baked and I double. Well, okay, so I heated my pan and then I seared and then I finished baking the potatoes and they were just so crispy, so light, so fluffy. And we didn't eat it cold. Would you eat eggs cold? Like just scrambled eggs? Like leftover scrambled eggs? You just eat them cold? Oh, bleh. Man. I don't know if I can get down on that, bro. But I can get
I
down on the
told you it
hot
was
sauce.
weird.
I do agree. If I was hungry enough, I could eat anything cold, and I'd put it either in ranch, hot sauce, or A1. I'm not a ketchup guy, but I'm a big mustard guy. Big mustard. Love some mustard. Especially like the Chinese dishes, man. Golly, man. I'm literally salivating. I'm going to have some food now.
I think that's a great stop, man. And for anyone who's been around for the ride, thank you for watching. And you're welcome for us giving you a great appetite and getting ready for your snack time too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure you're hyped up. Twizzlers in the comments. If you stayed with this this long, Twizzlers in the comments. Check out our other. Check out what's it like. Check out our international incident. What's the other name? Go down
The
the list, Karachi.
news and
Yep,
gaming
gaming. Yep,
and what's
that
it like?
that gaming's been so fun. What's it like? And then we check in every now and then. But this is the podcast. Thank you for riding with us. Stay tuned for episode 3. Don't forget to smash that like, hit that bell, and we will see you on the next one. Holla! Love you guys.